Do I? Uh-oh, itchy. Ooh, and then I'll put you in the chat. You in the chat. Put you in the chat. I put you in the chat. Wow, put you in the chat. And hello. Hi. Okay, hey guys. Okay, I'm putting info in here because this is what people told me to do last time. And I think I figured out how to do it. Also, guess who's got it? Oh, we're celebrating. I have half a watermelon here. Sure, it's midnight. It doesn't even matter. Because she is award nominated again. It's so great. I'm so happy. Thank you. Thank you. Like, and the fact that okay, there's also so much news around this particular nomination, which makes it very special, which is why thank you guys, which is why I really wanted to like hop on here to let you all know. Thank you. So, this particular nomination, um, it's okay. So, one, if you guys remember it, thank you. If you guys, oh, wait, shit. I need to remember how to do this. Shayna, stay focused. Shayna, stay focused. Do I remember what I was doing? I don't know if I remember what I was doing. Okay. Yes, I've got it. Haha. We are closing this. We are putting you here. People, once again, literally no pressure. I'm just going to post this because there were people that were asking about it the last time. Um, and I'm going to pin it. Great. And now I don't have to think about it. Okay. So when it comes to this specific award, this story behind it, if you guys remembered, when I was in Tenerife, I have a whole live about about this because in my live I was packing as quickly as I could because I had to basically flee Tenerife. I had to flee because it was so racist. It was so racist. So for those of you who don't know, Tenerife is one of the Canary Islands. It's this group of islands right next to Africa, which I assumed, oh, there's going to be so many African people. It's going to be so many black people. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. There were like none of us. There were like none of us. And the ones of us that were there were not treated well at all, including me. And so I was there to learn about the wine region of Tenerife, all this stuff. And I was not allowed into any wine shops. And when I tried to get into when I tried to get in, I can't even say a wine shop. When I tried to get into wine shops, they wouldn't let me in. And then people started saying the N word. It was real bad. So, me, being a journalist, said, I have power. I'm going to get out of here. And it will be with all of my might that I will talk about my experiences here. And not just my experiences, because I'm just one of there's not a lot of Black journalists in the space that I work in. And to be more specific, I work in the realm of also, if you guys have any questions, please just type them. I'm happy to answer. But I work in a space where it's mostly like about travel, food, and beverage. But I like talking about the politics behind it, but through the lens of a Black woman. So like there's not a lot of us within the like the beverage space, like in the journalistic space, period. But also within the niche that I'm in, there's really very few of us. And we tend to actually like know everybody else. All this to say, that article of me being furious, that got me the nomination. Ugh, my fury against racism got me that nomination. I'm just and some of the other people that were nominated, because there's 10 people that are nominated. Thanks, guys. So there were 10 people that were nominated. So right now that you get your top 10. Internationally, you get your top 10. And then I think it's in early June, we figure out who's top four. Now, if you're top four, then you get flown out to New Orleans for the big celebration, festival, all that stuff. And that's when you figure out who actually wins the award. Last year I was flown out and I was top four. Also last year, another Black lady won. And her article was super cool. If you guys are curious about it, I could post it somewhere. Um, she honestly deserved to win. And now there's 3 of us that are nominated. 3 of us. When the news got dropped, we all started texting each other in rapid fire. We were like, "Bitch, did you see?" And they were like, "Oh my god, what?" And I was like, "It's us. It's us." And now we're all just like now we're all just like posting on our Instagrams and like tagging each other. Happy Wellness Wednesday, y'all. Ooh, I love a Wellness Wednesday. Speaking of Wellness Wednesday, like Shayna, I will get back on focus, but like speaking of a Wellness Wednesday, I'm really thinking about getting a massage. I am exhausted. It has been a series of days. But hello, I pee freely. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're peeing freely. But yeah. And the other Black women that were nominated, mind you, all of us are freelance journalists. The other Black ladies that were nominated, we all wrote about different aspects of the Black experience within the journalism space. So mine was about the different nuances of anti Blackness that permeate throughout the space, right? And then Gabrielle Farms, obsessed with her. She wrote about the longstanding history of Black women and whiskey. So, for those of you who might not know, this conversation really like rose to the surface recently because thank you. I'm so happy for us. I'm so happy for us. And if we all make it into the final 4, then we all get to go to this, like, incredibly bougie, like, black tie of the black tie events, and then we all get to sit at a table together, and we get to be so black together. Oh, we get to be so black together, and what happens every time that I go, so I have been invited to this particular award ceremony twice. I've only been nominated, well, I mean, I learned about the award ceremony 2 years ago, and once I learned about it, I was like, "I need to be nominated." So, thank you, Drake. And then when I learned about it, I was like, I need to be on that stage." And then the next year, I made it into the final 4, and then the next year is right now. So last year when I was there, once again, all the Black people know each other. So we find each other, and sometimes there's a new person or there's a person. Let me rephrase. I am the new person. I am the new person within this space. So people tend to be like, "Oh my god, hi, so you're the Shayna I've heard about. Hello. Oh my god." Because most of the time people have been in the space for like 10, 15 years. And I, because of the way that I entered into the journalism space, I'm the new person. I'm the one figuring it all out in real time. So, but because I've been around for a couple of years now, people are starting to recognize me. And once again, there's not a lot of us within the space. So last year, met a whole bunch of people, like, and all the Black people, obviously, we all find each other. Took a lot of hugs, got a lot of hugs, took a lot of pictures. A bunch of us won last year. Not a bunch, but considering the ratios of how many of us there are, a decent amount of us won. It was nice, but I'd like to see more, and it's happening. And it's happening. The only thing that would make me happier is if I saw more people from the continent of Africa being nominated and getting on that stage. That would be the thing that would make me, like, so happy. Um, but yeah, so that was Gabby's article, and then Yolanda's article is about the longstanding history of Black people, basically pouring out libations. So you know how like the running, there's like a joke, but it's not really a joke. It's like, "Oh, I'm pouring one out for the homies." Um, there's like a long-standing spiritual tradition behind this that goes back centuries, and she wrote about that, and she was nominated also. So we are all in this right here rooting for everybody Black. Oh, but like getting this news in the middle of like moving to Thailand. Well, I have to do like a quick stop before I move to Thailand, but like getting this news while I'm in the process of moving to Thailand has been a like it's been a roller coaster, guys. Like, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I have, once again, oh, if anybody has any questions, please just let me know. I will read them. Um, but I have not been able to post every day, which I used to do, but me being in Spain at this particular time, like it has been exhausting. Like I just found somebody to take over the lease for this apartment. I need to go spend some time with my grandparents because grandpa's not looking so hot. Um, yeah, I also do have to go back to the United States for a brief period of time. I know, I really don't want to, but I have to. Papa's there. So, I gotta go do that. And okay, I'm gonna say some things that are gonna sound ridiculous. Low key because I am. Thank you for saying that. Papa's like 90 and never really took care of himself. So, hey Tracy. And thank you. Yeah, my grandpa's like 90 and never really took care of himself. So, him getting better is not really what we're like would be a best case scenario. We're more of like just trying to make sure that he has a smooth transition to the next plane. Um, just being 100% real with y'all. But yeah, yeah. Also, like his transition right now, mind you, I'm not in the States right now. My family that's over there is able to be more, like, hands-on, obviously, than I am. But oh, hi, Fluffer Squirrel UK. Y'all with these names. We got IP Freely a little bit, and then we got Fluff. Hey, guys. Um, but yeah, Papa it's interesting watching my grandpa transition, like, in this transitional state, because while his memory is going, I don't know how to fix that. By this point, I should know, but I don't. I'll start over. So by this point, in my grandpa's life, towards the end of it, his memory is going. We don't know if it's dementia. We don't know if it's Alzheimer's, but it's that, right? Um, so with that, I he's like really peaceful. He's reverting into a childhood that I think he always wanted to have, but he never got the chance to because so much trauma. But now he's just really reverting back into like the little papa that he probably wanted to be when he was like 2, 3 years old, which I think is super cute. But also, I'm not changing diapers. So maybe that's why I think it's super cute. Um, but yeah, so I got to go back to the States for a little bit for that. Not a writer, not child free. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, you don't have to be a writer. You don't have to be child free. I advocate for it. But listen, I get it. Some people want to have the baby. Some people don't want to have the baby. Some people want to write some words. Other people don't want to write some words. That's all I'm saying. Mm, mm. He has lived through, yes. I pee freely in case you guys can't read it. I'm not sure. But I pee freely said, I could only imagine the stories your grandfather had. He lived through a lot of history. My grandpa lived through so much history. My grandpa and my grandma lived through so much history. Also, if you guys want me to like share the story, there's so much. So they're neither of them are from the United States. They're both from very, very rural Jamaica. And I don't know a lot about my grandpa's history just because he never really I think the amount of trauma that he went through just made it really hard for him to talk about his family and like the like our history as it relates to his side. So I know more about my grandma, like my mom's side than I know about his side. But what I do know is that they grew up in a part of Jamaica that was basically untouched by like colonialism and the tourism industry. Like I was telling a friend of mine not too long ago that there were like dogs and wild animals around where my mom grew up, but, like, the things that they were really scared of, because they had to, like, walk for they were, like, the actual people that had to walk, like, maybe a mile to school, right? But then but she was like, "Shayna, there were these turkeys. There were these massive turkeys, and you would see them, and you would just have to run, and there were, like, 3 of them, and they would chase you." So she would just like, she and her, like, classmates would be in, "Serve all the flowers," and "Oh, thank you. So sweet." Um, Thank you, Nina Fressa. Um, yeah, like, they would be chased by these massive turkeys often. But there were also, like, all of these fruit trees, and they, like, grew up in the woodland, right? I appreciate you guys. Y'all are the best. Thank you. Thank you. Um, but yeah, and I think that it's because of the way that not just my mom grew up in Jamaica, and like my dad grew up in Haiti. But like there's this there's this very real sense of being so connected to the food that we eat that I've had the privilege of growing up with. Like my grandma, I don't know how she did this. And if Trump is listening, this everything I'm about to say right now was a lie. I'm a liar. But my grandma was able to take a bunch of seeds from Jamaica and bring them to the United States. So once again, this is absolutely a lie. Government, I'm a liar. So she was able to take a whole bunch of these things and move them to the United States. So her backyard has all of these medicinal herbs like kind of scattered throughout it, right? And so like if I was feeling sick or if well, Papa needed something, or if people were just like need like had headaches or whatever, she'd be like, "Okay, Shanna, go out and like go to the corner and pick some of those," and then da 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 da. And then she'd have a little garden section where every year there would be like a new crop, like a new like I can't even say one crop. There'd be like a bunch of things that would grow. Um, Grandma, like the way that grandma also, so many props to grandma. Like I grew up eating and like planting and working kind of in the soil, and we'd get what like fresh watermelon and strawberries and callaloo and kale, and like everything would just grow. And even now, even though my grandparents are like a whole lot older, ooh, wait a minute. I gotta catch up on the words. Um, ooh, as a baby forager and herbalist, right? Right? Like it gave me so much respect for the herbalists and the foragers because like that's how my grandma was. My mom wasn't necessarily my mom was like my mom and her generation were more like foragers for fun. Like, they'd go out into the woods, and they would be able to recognize what was, they'd be able to recognize a lot of, like, edible fruits and plants and things, but when it came to, like, the medicinal side of it, like, the herbalist side of it, my grandma like, my m gran my grandma's mom, what this is one of my grandma's favorite stories about her mom. She was like there was whenever my great-grandma she would get these really, like, biting migraines, probably because of her husband, but she would get these biting migraines, and she would send one of her kids out into the forest, and she would say, "Get me this leaf," and she would describe the leaf, and it was like a big leaf. I think it was like not necessarily the size of a banana leaf, but it was like give or take that size. So they would go and they find the leaf, and they'd give it to my great grandma, and she would tie it over the she'd press her hair down, put it over the top of her head, tie it down, and then just like put a scarf over it. And there was something in that leaf that would just, like, sink into her brain, like, sink into her like, into her skull and calm her nerves, and that would be the only thing that would release her migraines. And my grandma was like, "Shayna, my mom just knew the forest. She just knew the forest." And I'm like, "That's so cool." Um, oh, wait, obviously creating, writing, allegedly. Creative this is obviously creative. I mean, exactly, like, we're all just saying stuff as it relates to my grandma's backyard. Who's to say? This could all be an extended prompt. My name's just Shayna. I know 2 things, and one of which is that my name is Shayna. It sounds amazing. I wish I had a family member that mm, yeah, like, ah, it was really cool, and then, So that's my grandma's backyard, and it's kind of like separated into a bunch of parts. So there's one part, and there's not a lot of medicinal herbs now, just because some of them died over time, and my grandparents are older, and I'm everywhere, and my parent like there's not been a lot of tending to the garden, is what I'm saying. Every now and then, like, there are some crops that always come back year after year, like the callaloo and the kale, and when those grow up, and when those, like, start to bloom, we'll just, like, walk into the garden, pick a couple leaves, eat it, and then there's, like, the most part of the garden is just flowers. There's just flowers for days, but what's, like, been extra cool, though, is that that's my grandma's house. Down the street is my uncle, so my mom's brother, and he's, like, everybody's gotten a little bit older, but he's a little bit more spry with it, and he very intentionally made, like, a little Garden of Eden in his backyard. Mind you, my this part of my family lives, like, 10 minutes outside of New York City, so keep that in mind. And my uncle, he's got apple trees, he's got peach trees, he's got cherry trees, and he's got an apricot tree. He also has like another much smaller garden, not necessarily for herbs, more like like for foods. And then he has rabbits and chickens. And then you go down, like you make a turn and you go down like another street, and then my grandma's sister is right down there, and she has the biggest plum tree. Thank you, Fatness. Thank you, Fatness. Um, but yeah, so like there's always been the connection to the naturalness of food has always been around me in such a sacred way that it just kind of like looking back retrospectively, it makes sense that I got into food writing. And I'm just like really grateful that the way that I write, like the niche that I picked is vast enough for all of my ADHD. But also, like, for now, these kinds of conversations are possible in the United States. Um, and it's not like they won't be possible soon. It's just like it might get a little tricky. Mm. Well, that's amazing. Migraines debilitate me, and I know others go through it too. I finally have a great gal pal, and I share two of your. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. Um, I feel like I really do feel like I don't know other people's online communities, but I do feel like I have the best online community. Like, you guys are just the sweetest and the kindest. You keep the trolls at bay. Oh, gotta catch up. What are you looking forward to most in Thailand besides the incredible food? The incredible food is so high on that list, it's insane. I am really, really looking forward to the food. I am looking forward to the climate. I love hot, I love humid all year round, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also really looking forward to a slower pace of life. Like, I know that I'm gonna be in Bangkok for a while, but I don't see myself staying in Bangkok. Um, Yeah, I don't see myself staying in Bangkok. I think I'm just gonna be there to get myself up and off the ground, and because the international airport is right there. But, like, I'm looking forward to, like, moving out, like, feeling comfortable and then moving out. Also, oh my gosh, I can't remember who said this, but the person that's like, "Ooh, herbalist and, like, foraging." There's also a really cool course that takes place in Bangkok, excuse me, where you can like pick and choose the courses specifically within this giant seminar series, but it's about the herbology and like the plant life of Thailand. Like, you learn about medicinal herbs and medicines and tinctures and like how to make them and how to forage for them and like even durian. Like, you can go durian. There's one day if you choose to go to that specific course, then you go out to a durian field and you learn about the harvesting process. I'm like, This is so cool. And I'm also really looking forward to the lowered cost of healthcare. I know it's not like super sexy, but I'm really looking forward to the lowered cost of healthcare. Oh, I already got my doctors lined up over there for my autoimmune disease. They're like, Shayna, like, we got you. I'm like, oh, just get me over there. Oh, but I do have to wrap up some stuff in the US. Mm, catching up. Um, do, do, do. She would totally take me to the Dominican Republic, where she's from. I never got to go outside and explore the US. Oh my God. When you get the chance, it's a vibe outside. Um, and everything you're mentioning is what I know so many individuals and family deserve to have access to. And thank you so much for your positive impact on my you guys. You guys are so precious. I'm so happy that I've been able to positively influence your life. And like when you if you get the chance to go out with your friend, like there's obviously like Santo Domingo, which is like the big capital, and then you have all of the like touristy parts outside, like by the shores. But if you have the chance to like just hang out with her family, I like that's the part of traveling that always makes me the happiest. Like just going out and being with the people. Like there's a lot of people that when they travel, they're just like, I want to be in a resort. I don't want to see a local. I don't want to see what day-to-day life is like. I am traveling so that way I could get away from day-to-day life. And I can understand why some people wanna do that, especially if you're just, like, in this capitalist grind, and it's like, I just want to, like, live in a fantasy for a couple of days. I can understand that. But, like, if you get the chance, I'm just saying, if you get the chance to, like, spend some time with her and her family, and, like, locals in general, then yeah, I think it'd be fun, especially, like, with people's family. Because once again, it's a country that you're not familiar with. There's, like, joys and there's dangers in every country, but if you know somebody, always helps. Okay, we're catching up. I mod for a few channels. This is a lovely chat. The vertical streams get a lot more views, but a lot of shows go. Yeah, yeah, but I will say that especially for my lives. Like, I've only had one live where it was inundated with bots and trolls, but these kinds of convos have been really, really, like, good. And I think, like, I'm a I'm not a huge platform. Like, my platform isn't massive, right? Um, so I don't have like, every now and then there's a troll. Every now and then. I think max on one video, maybe there's like 4 or 5 in from what I see anyway. There's been a couple of repeat offenders, but I'm like, it's just a lonely man trying to talk to a lady, screaming into the ether with his little megaphone, and nobody cares. And he's potentially bald. Shayna is potentially bald. They are potentially bald, all 4 of them. But, like, because there's so few of them, and I'm not at the point where, like, and I hope I need to knock on something, but, like, I'm not getting threats from men. I'm not getting, and it could potentially just be because, like, I'm not saying anything I don't think, let me rephrase. I don't think that I'm saying anything too insane. I don't think, and I think that they recognize that I'm like, just be a good person. Just if you're feeling triggered by me saying, "Hey, human decency. Hey, maybe stop smacking women. Hey, maybe leave us alone if we want to be left alone," which we do. Then hey, what to do? What to do? Oh, gotta catch up. I'm losing some of these words. Um, Congrats. Oh, thank you, Jen. Ooh, that sounds office. I'd skip on the durian. Listen. Here's my thing about durian. I've tried it. Honestly, I've tried it in a cocktail once. It was delicious. It was delicious. Also, Shayna, it's not bougie. It's just the fact of your life. The one time that I tried durian was in a cocktail while I was in South Africa for a cocktail festival. That made me want to just have durian on its own. I recognize it smells like something has died. I recognize this. Have I personally had that smell before? No. Would I like to? Not particularly. Would I like to just consume durian straight out the Yes. Yes, I would. Ooh, maybe that'll be alive. Maybe that'll be alive. That would be fun live. I'll think about it. I love this for you. Thailand sounds like a fan place. Exactly. And everybody, oh, I need to finish reading things all the way through. I love this for you. Thailand sounds like a fantastic place to go to live and grow. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard from a lot of people in general, solo, like single women in general, and a lot of Black people, like an increasing, in my experience, an increasing amount of Black people. I I'm excited. I'm excited, and I think that there's like a community of us already there. Um, yeah, there's not a lot of us in Spain. Like in Bars, there's not a lot of us here. There's not a lot of us here. And I miss seeing us. Oh, I miss seeing us. Mm, catching up on the reading. Probably missed it, but was Spain no bueno? We're just looking for something different. Honestly, a little bit of no bueno. Okay, let me rephrase. There's like three different levels to it, right? There's a couple of things that are in Spain that for me are not a personal fit. Like I'm not a fan. There's some things in Spain. Let me be Yeah, I think it's a Spain thing. There's some things here that I've noticed are patterns culturally that I do not. I'm like, I don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. I see it, I recognize it. If it works for some, that's great. I gotta get out of here. Um, but yeah, but also there's like just more benefits, it seems, from Thailand for what my specific needs are. So personally, I never want to experience a winter ever again in my life. I don't. I don't. And even in Barcelona, it's not incredibly cold. It's not like I'm in Scandinavia. But you do need layers. Like I wore out my fleece leggings here underneath my sturdy pants. Like I had to buy jackets. I'm like, "What is this?" Now it didn't snow, but this was my first time experiencing seasonal depression in years, and I said, I did not move across the world to still be sad in February. I'm delicate. I say this I'm delicate. So that was a big thing. And then I had to remind myself, Shayna, you did move to Whitelandia. You moved into the heart of Whitelandia, and you're surprised that these people that are largely unmelanated, let me rephrase, woefully undermelanated, experience winter. Like, Shayna, you knew this. And then whenever I say this to other people, they go, Shayna, you knew this. And I go, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this because I made choices. So there's that. One. Two, I have never experienced such poorly behaved men in my life. In my life. And I grew up in New York. And I'm here. I'm like, who raised you? Oh my God. It's terrible. Te- Terrible. I've never seen so much chronic cheating. That's so socially accepted chronic cheating. The amount of the shamelessness of married men. I'm like, your wife is right there. Why are you soliciting me? Um, And I do think that, especially in Barcelona, this is because I don't think that this is a Barcelona thing. I do think that this is just a Spain thing because the other parts of Spain that I've been to, I've also been consistently solicited by married men. I will say that, and I don't think that that is solely because I am Black. Um, I do think that it is more prevalent in Barcelona, though, because I am Black, because Barcelona does have a red light district that nobody tells you about. And unfortunately, it is filled with a lot of African migrant women because there's nothing else for them to do to make money to support their families. So They referred back to the world's oldest profession, to support themselves and their families. No hate, no judgment to them. And unfortunately, men take that, they superimpose that onto every Black woman they see here in Barcelona. It is wild. I do not like it. I don't have to, like, just be well behaved. Just be a well behaved man. Just in general. It's terrible. It's terrible. Um, but yeah, even outside of that, Thailand is just sounding more and more like a vibe. It's just sounding more like beaches and like chill. And I hear that Thai people are some of the like collectively some of the friendliest people in the world. And I'm like, that sounds so nice. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts. Oh my God, I'm so behind. I gotta catch up. Um, Here we go. Okay, we're catching up. We're catching up. Ooh, thank you. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Did you smell the bald? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I love myself. It's the anger about the bald. Once again, I made a like passing friend, but here's the thing. He's also a man. And he said he's a man who's also new here, so he's not, like, been fully impacted by the whole Spain situation, but he said that he knows a responsible bald man, and I said, "1, I don't know if I could trust your words. 2, does he have a wife, a long-term girlfriend? I need a woman to co-sign this." Also, I've never met him. I don't think I'll ever meet him. So I still have not met a responsible bald man. And please, please, if there happens to be somebody who's creeped onto this chat, it don't go sending me anything about bald men that you think are responsible. Like, I don't need that in my DMs. I don't need that in my email. Don't inundate me with the balds. Don't, just don't, please. Smelling balls is the angry yes. Yeah, I've never heard of a durian cocktail that would make me, it was so good. It was, like, a little bit sour, but I don't think that was because of the durian. Like, I just remember it being, like, complex and, like, rich. It wasn't like a one of those it wasn't like a lot of cocktail. It was one of those kind of like a gimlets. It was in, like, one of those gimlet glasses where you just kinda, like, sip and go, "Ooh, an experience." It was lovely. Um, Congrats on your nomination. That is a thank you, Carteron. Oh, Canteron. Thank you, Canteron. I got a flyer through my door from a party I won't mention, but the representative resembled a carton of eggs. And here's the thing that really concerns me. No, they don't follow me. And I won't be naming any names. I won't be naming any names. A friend of mine went on an adventure with some other friends of theirs. And one of those friends brought their, I don't know, husband, partner, whatever. Here's the thing though, their partner happened to be a white man that was fully bald on top and fully bald in the face. Just, I'm like, and I saw a picture and it jolted me. I said, Jesus Christ, it's a lot of bald. And and then I talked to my friend. I was like, who is this circle of a man? And I was like, it's a lot. And then she was like, Shayna, he also was like a body bald. I was like, and he was hairless. Listen, if I wanted to rub myself with stones, if I wanted to roll around on eggs, if oh, I just like I don't know. People are allowed to love whoever they love. They are allowed. They are allowed. My ADHD and my sensory overload of just so much smoothness, it's not my problem. I'm just ask I just ask questions. Asian fruits are unusual and interesting if you like to write about and talk about it. Will you write about other niches if you move to Thailand? So, oh my God, thank you so much for that question, afternoon coffee. So I'm actually I will continue to write about, like, in the way that while I'm here. Oh, also, I don't know if you guys know, but while I've been living in Spain, I have been writing a lot about like different cool activities to do in Spain, in Barcelona, more specifically in like like the state of Catalonia, um, and like different parts of like Spanish culture that I find interesting, and different bartenders and things that I'm like, oh, I think people should know more about these people. I will basically be continuing doing that while I am in Thailand, but with a focus on Thai people, culture, how food gives you an insight into people's cultures, histories, those kinds of things, but with a focus on like Thailand and Southeast Asia. Um, I might explore more of just Asia in general, but I do really love Southeast Asia, like Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, the Philippines, love it. Um, and here's a little bit of a spoiler. I'm not going to give too much information on this, but here's a little bit of a spoiler. I will also be doing my journalism has opened up the space for me to do some part-time work as a publicist. So basically, I will be one of the people that are based in Thailand that could potentially open the doors for other journalists or content creators or influencers to have press trips into Thailand or to other countries or to help different businesses like restaurants or hotels or bars or resorts get more publicity in the United States by means of journalists and storytellers, and things like that. So, yeah, I'm really excited to start doing that, and I think it's gonna be interesting. The company that I will be working with is a lovely company, and because I'm a Black woman, and there's very, very, very few Black women publicists, I think who I'm drawn to and who I'm like, "This is a good client, I recommend them." It's gonna be very different than what people are used to, and I'm also curious how much power they're gonna give me in this. Because they say they're starting me off part-time, but I'm like, I think you're gonna need more." But that's neither here nor there, we will see. I'm very excited to start, though, making connections and building community over there, like building community at like the ground level with like people and content creators and like other Black people in the industry, but then also at a higher level when it comes to like super sustainable hotels and restaurants that are doing more equitable work. That I'm like, like people actually, like people need to know about you guys. And Thailand is huge on renewable energy too, so yeah. um Thank you for that question. I really appreciated afternoon coffee. Uh, yeah, I talked a little bit more about why I'm leaving Spain a little earlier in this video. Junie B. Jones. Or is it a European thing? Um, I am going to say that comment about it being a European thing. There's a lot of things that I think are European things, and there's some things that I think are more specifically Mediterranean things. But in my experience, the poorly behaved thing I do think is very Spanish, and I do also think it is very French, and likely very Italian also. I don't know about Portugal. I don't know about Portugal when it comes to the badly just poorly behaved. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, and I don't plan on finding out. I thought Spain was warm. I thought it was the warmest European country. So if we're talking about like European countries, I think that Greece would be the warmest European country. But technically, it's warmer. It's warmer than like Scandinavia or the UK or Germany. Like right now, like I just talked to my friend who's in Germany, and she's like still wearing sweaters right now. She's also based in Munich. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but like it's just not warm enough for me. This melanin craves chronic sunlight. So what time is it? Oh, I'm doing great on time. Okay. Oh, Shayna, stay focused. Where did this go? Congratulations. Thank you. Undermelted, woefully so. It's sad out there. Noted. Just the men cheating or women too? Honestly, I'm gonna be so for real with you. I'm gonna be so for real with you, fitness. Unfortunately. The men are cheating more chronically than the women, but also, when I say who raised y'all, I have never in my life, and it's just it's chronic out here. It is chronic out here, and I don't think that they necessarily like some people are truly cheating, like they know that they're cheating. But there is this very big thing in Spain. There is a very big thing in Spain when it comes to like you meet somebody and you're dating them. You're doing all of these huge like relationship milestones. And the converse like there is no conversation. Let me rephrase. It is considered very American to have a conversation being like, "Hey, I really like you. Are you seeing anybody else? Like, I'd love for this to be like a committed just you and me thing." They say, and this is a very Spain thing, and it's also a very France thing. It's a very Mediterranean thing, I think. Where having that conversation even happens. Because generally, what I have been told, not generally, what I've been told from people that are born and raised in these regions are like, no, Shannon, you just know. You just know. And you have to, you know, when it is just you. And then that's when you just, oh, that's when you just open up your entire heart. I was like, you don't know. Because the person that you are talking about right now, I saw them on a date on Tuesday, and they were giving that same bullshit to the person that like, so and everybody does it, and everybody does it. And it's just so like there's so when the breakups happen, it's just heart-wrenching and messy because it's all just so poorly I'm like, one conversation can fix all of this and give everybody security, but nobody wants to talk because, oh, but the passion, like the conversation takes away from the passion. So yeah, there's a lot of people that are like cheating, but there's even more people that literally just don't know how to have a conversation. So instead of just ending things, they're just like, oh, the passion is fading. But also there is no what is it called? Safe sex. There is none of that. Everybody is doing everybody, and nobody uses protection. Um, and I don't want to give out too much information on this, but I have unfortunately an unwelcome, like I didn't ask for this information, but I know somebody that was patient zero for a chlamydia outbreak in a specific part, in a specific neighborhood in Barcelona because of all the nonsense that I just shared. And unfortunately, that patient zero was a woman, a very poorly behaved woman who is just very, very male focused. Yikes. See, I'm from Brooklyn myself. That's awful that they were that bad in Spain. Oh, mm, no, thank you. Thank you for calling out the cheating. I was beyond disgusted seeing my family act like depraved perverts around. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I know that cheating happens everywhere. I know that anybody can cheat. I've just never seen so much chronic bad behavior. Like here, I'm not gonna name no names being named, but I was on a very professional trip here, and 2 separate times, 2 married men after telling me about their wife and their kids and their 2 married men were like, "Oh, Shayna, if you're not doing anything later." Mind you, we're having these like one of these conversations happened at like one of these conversations happened later, and then one was like in the middle of an interview. If you're not doing anything later, my wife's not gonna be here for a couple of weeks. So I just want I'm on the job. You're soliciting a journalist? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't I don't know. I don't know. I'm from New Jersey and they are bad here too. Listen, I'm from New Jersey. I dated in New Jersey and New York. I will say that I had a pretty pleasurable experience dating in New Jersey and New York. I was strict with these men, and they were here for it. They were also the ones that were not well behaved. I just let them go. I just let them go immediately, and that was fine. But there were so many that were so much better behaved. Dare I say, gentlemen? Mm-mm. Um, LMAF, LMFAO, what you said about the responsible bomb. I've seen it. It is true, even for the nicer bald, for the nicest balder I know. Listen, they can be very nice. They can be very sweet. As I said, I made a PowerPoint about my observations on the balds. Like, there are some that are even aesthetically pleasing, but responsible. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, sir. I haven't seen none of this. Mm-mm. I don't either. So good. This is what I'm saying. God only knows what else there. No, why would you say that? Why would you say that? God only knows where else they were bald. I am going to assume that you're saying spiritually. That's all I'm going to say. Because you can be spiritually bald. I've met some of them. It's a smooth operator. You got me there. How many years are you going to stay in Bangkok? I'm thinking of staying in Bangkok for 1 year. It's my phone. I keep telling myself I'm going to go to bed by midnight. I never do. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Ah, here we go. Huzzah! All right, we're back. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna be in Bangkok for 1 year and then take that. I'm gonna be based in Bangkok for 1 year, and then I'm gonna explore out. Where? I don't know. I think I want to be coastal. Like I used to live in rephrase. I used to be based in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, and that kind of community, like a small-ish town that's super walkable, right by the beach, lots of cafes, lots of restaurants, local population and international population, not too far from an airport, but also an airport is not just like readily available, but there is a direct line to get to. Like, that was perfect. That was perfect. And while I like those combinations of things were perfect, and I don't think that I would be able to find that in Bangkok just because it's the capital. Um, but yeah, yeah. 1 year in Bangkok, and then for the visa that I'm applying for, you get it for 5 years automatically. So 1 year in Bangkok, and then I would take the other 4 years to be somewhere else. And then if I really like it, I'd reapply for either that visa or a longer stay one, maybe residency if I'm able to like establish a business in Bangkok, but not Bangkok, in Thailand. But that's the plan. That's the plan. Plans change, but that's the plan. Congratulations. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That in New Jersey is so true. I thought I had escaped excessive male hostility in New York, but it was just the same. Oh, even the awesome folk I met had some deep intolerable. Oh, what happened? What's happened in New Jersey since I've been there? When was the last time I dated in New Jersey? The last time that I dated in New Jersey was 2022. Yeah, I think it was 2022 was the last time I dated in New Jersey. I know a couple years changes a lot, but my God, it sounds like everything has changed. Sounds like everything is not awesome. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Does your friend like Munich? Is she black? No. No, let me rephrase. She loves Munich. She is not black. She's also born, she's German. She's 100% German. um, yeah. 100% German. Her family is from Munich. She I think she yeah, she's 100% German, born and raised in Munich. No, raised in Munich. I think she was born in the United States, though. Yeah. Yeah. No. No, she was born and raised in Munich, but her brothers were born in the United States and raised in Munich because I think she's the only one that didn't automatically get US citizenship. There it is. There it is. She loves it though. I have visited her a couple of times. Munich is so pretty. It is so pretty and very, very clean. I don't think I've seen a cleaner European city. Um, it is also very German. Very German. There's so much order and structure, and everything has its place, which is great to a degree, but they don't know the degree. They're German. And my friend is very like, she's very free spirited. So she's, as much as he loves Germany, she is like, I just wish my people would loosen up. And I'm like, right. I don't know if you guys have seen, there's a TikToker who makes this terrifying content about what it's like to date a German guy. I've been on one date with a couple of German guys, like several first and only dates with German guys. I just want you to know that he's accurate. And I hope that your algorithms are picking up what I'm putting down so that way if you have not seen this guy, you will find this guy. I'm like, it really makes me wonder. Like, I know that there's a lot of people out there, like especially Black women that come to Europe with these hopes of like finding this like European husband, their pasta and lobster, if you will. Um, and I know that there are like, I'm like, is it just the marketing? Like, but there are some good ones in the same way that there's like good men everywhere. They're out there somewhere, right? Um, but like from what I've been seeing across the countries, I go, "Yikes." Alright, if people if you like it, I love it for you. Please, no, thank you. Ooh, gotta catch up. Shayna, you keep getting distracted. Okay, love this. Thanks. Dang, I noticed that with my Spanish family, I have basically anti-communication. Like, do y'all have problems? Because that's how y'all fester several problems. Yes. Yes, it is very, very popular here for some reason to just not communicate and just live by a feeling. A very big, very uncomfortable feeling, which is probably anxiety. I don't know. I just observe things. And about cheating, I had to cheat because the boyfriend I broke up with said, "No, excuse the" so excuse the F out of me. So, there's bound to be no consensual relationships out there where people act like the oppressed. I just yeah, yeah. It's rampant out here. It's rampant out here. So all of the content that you see of people being like, "Oh my god, I met this amazing guy in Barcelona." Oh, especially if they said, "I met this amazing guy in Barcelona." If they came here on vacation, listen, if you come here on vacation and you just really wanna be love bombed and swept off your feet and probably go home with a mild case of potentially syphilis, then, like, sure, do that. If you are looking for a long-term serious relationship in Barcelona, a sex destination in Europe, listen, you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to me, and the people that you share this information with also don't have to listen to me. I'm just sharing what I know. What do I know at the end of the day? Um, Here we go. Amazing, that's wild. I would be so offended. Thank you for the heads up, so I don't take it personally if married men openly slit. Yeah, don't take it personally. Don't just know that you are not the first, nor will you be the last. Nor will you be the last. If you happen to go on dates with men while you were here, they will be in my experience, as a Black woman here, incredibly physically, it's not affectionate, forward in a way that I can only describe as wildly uncomfortable and inappropriate. And I think that that's because of the sex destination aspect of here. That you can be like, I'm wildly offended. Actually, you should be offended by married men. Like married men shouldn't be soliciting anybody, but the incredible sexual forwardness of the men, especially in like dating spaces. I stopped dating here so long ago, so because of this, that is I think more specific to the Black woman experience. Um, Scoobity baba. I had to put an app on my phone to be more mindful that I need to. I know. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give myself another 6 minutes, and then I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna try to speed through as many questions as possible. If you have any more questions, type them now. Um, ta-ta. Thank you for your expressions and lovely interactions. Oh, you're the best. Have you ever considered trying Africa for a year or so? I would love to live in Africa. I would love to live in Africa. Here's my two things though that I need to see or like have evidence of before I move to Africa. One, I hate driving. I never want to own a car ever. And a lot, even in like the big cities that I've seen in Africa, like even in Accra, or in Lagos, I've seen it seems like people you have to have a car. I don't know if the how the public transportation systems are out there. I don't see anybody talking about them. So I don't know, but for me to move somewhere, I need to know that they have a very reliable public transportation system because I hate driving. And two, I need to know that there is a hospital there or a medical team there that has experience working with multiple sclerosis or NMO, neuromyelitis optica, which is the autoimmune disease that I have. And it would need to be affordable healthcare. So and I just haven't seen both of those things happen in one location in Africa. If I happen to find one, then I'll figure out how to be there for at least a year, maybe more. But if any of you have recommendations for places that have both of these things, please send them my way, but I just haven't found any. Um, Looking and I'm reading. Real Africa, not Cape Town. I know. I know. um, I got the ADHD too, and I need to go to sleep. And listen, you go to bed. I'm following right after you. Have a good night, fluffer squirrel UK. And I just stopped being friends with people because they were so messed up. Heard. Dated a German guy and he was extremely boring and kind of stoic. Yeah, yeah. Like I don't really mind the stoicness. I also no, I do get bored real quickly. Like I can't even say that they were particularly boring to me. It was just like it was just like, you know what? Now I gotta figure out what the words are for my experience of because like the whole experience of me for me dating the German guys that I've been once again, recognize it's not a one size fits all, but my experience of dating them, the whole time I was just like that's the only way that I could really describe my experience. And the 50-50 thing is so viscerally real. Like I've never gone 50-50, but the way that they were talking about like, they were just like, "Ooh, wow, so, like, next time you're gonna get it right?" And I'm like, "Next time? That's wild." Um, yeah, there are good ones out there, there are good ones out there, they are single. I don't know about that, Anthony. Like the idea, though. I don't know about the reality. Pardon, it sounded like you were saying Black women are looking for pasta mops in your pasta and lobster. It's a reference to a song, basically white men, rich white men. Um, my possum lobster education is My pasta and lobster is the free education. Mm. The way that education is just so accessible here is insane, is insane. I had a whole conversation earlier today at brunch with, an ex-classmate of mine, and she was talking about the education system in Norway. If you ever wanna be really, really sad about the reality of the United States, look at how Norway invested into their country and their education system from the oil that was found in the coast of Norway. Technically, I think the United States actually found that oil, and the US was like, "Hey, we found it, it's ours," and Norway was like, "No, like, it's in our territory, this is Norwegian oil." So then they use the oil and, like, from all the money that they get from this oil, they just put it back into the country. It's if you ever just wanna be real angry at the United States. Oops, stay focused, Shayna. Um, admire that, I live in the United States, and I'm so glad I don't own a car anymore. Exactly. Yeah, so I feel guilty for them. They would care less. Toop toop toop. Pretend toop toop toop. Germans are so practical. There's no romance. I agree. Um, things are expensive. Everyone is getting squeezed. 50-50 is becoming a thing. Listen, there are women out there that wanna do 50-50. There are women that are happy to do 50-50. I'm not one of them. I've never had that experience, and I don't want it to become normalized in my life. Um, so I won't. And there are men out there that also don't do 50-50, and those are the men that I am more open to talking to. None of my exes have been 50-50, and that's the way it is. Um, Here we go. Ooh, lots of words. Okay. Yes, I'm a Libra. Yes, also a Libra. Turn up. Ooh, I heard that song before. Yes. Anthony, cool beans. Staying angry at the US is a full-time job for us. Absolutely. I go to bed enraged and I wake up and I say, I don't like the United States. I in my earbud while I'm doing tax and yes to everything that you're saying. Hope y'all get some rest and have a refreshing sleep. Yes, child. I'm not doing 50-50 with a whole adult male. Absolutely. I do 100% by myself. Why would I? It's, oh, no, thank you. Oh my God. I did it. I answered everything in 6 minutes. So if men are paying, what are the women doing? Just wondering out loud. Oh, so sorry, Hummer 5665. I guess your questions will remain unanswered. I hope you find whatever it is that you're looking for. I'm going to be logging out. Everybody have a great sleep. If you have any other questions or things, please type them somewhere. Um, And if you want to give a gift, the ways to do that are pinned at the top of the video or somewhere in the description. If you want to find me on other things, you know where to find me. Everybody, have a great rest of your day or night, depending on where you are globally. Um, yeah, that's all. Stay safe out there.